Hey everybody, welcome back to the Print 3D channel. Today is September 20th, and that means day 263 of the 3DP 365 project. And on today's episode, we printed out the President Morty Badge from Rick and Morty, so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 263 of the 3DP 365 project. On today's episode, we printed out the President Morty Badge from the Council of Evil Ricks. Well, I guess it would be the Council of Evil Mortys at this point, from Rick and Morty. And recently, Morty took over the Council of Evil Ricks, and he started exterminating all the Ricks in different dimensions, and making him president of the Council of Evil Ricks, creating this really cool President Morty Badge. And we 3D printed ours using Matterhackers Pro PLA in silver on our gMax 1.5 XT Plus, and the print turned out stellar. I am super happy with the results. We downloaded this model from Thingiverse, and once we had it downloaded, we sent it over to Simplify3D for slicing. In Simplify3D, I used a 0.2mm layer height with 4 top layers, 3 bottom layers, and 3 perimeters. I also used 15% infill on this model because there's a lot of top surfaces here and I wanted them to come out perfectly smooth. And we printed this out at 35 millimeters per second just because I wanted to make sure all these sharp angles and all the different detail on the President Morty Badge turned out perfectly. And they actually did. It was only about a 3-hour print, so it's an easy print. And I did scale this up to 200% of the original size because the original one was kind of small. I think it's more of like a lapel pin type of thing. But I wanted one to match my current badge that I have, which is the Council of Evil Ricks badge, which I actually have right here, which I printed in Matterhackers Pro PLA lime green. And I wanted them to be around the exact same size. So I just guessed and I said 200% should be about right. And they are about right. It is a perfect size. It's a good match. And I'm definitely going to put these up on the wall with a lot of the other wall hangings that I have there over on the print wall, because I really love this show. I'm really getting into Rick and Morty. It's pretty crazy. It's kind of hard to follow if you miss an episode or you watch an episode out of order, because there's so many crazy things happening in the space-time continuum with multiple versions of Rick, multiple versions of Morty, multiple planets. It's pretty crazy. I did hear one fan theory before we wrap up today, and this is probably going to blow some people's minds, or it's going to make you think that's just crazy, but Rick is Morty, Morty is Rick. And that's the latest fan theory I've heard about the actual show. And that would really mess with the space-time continuum and really make a disturbing thoughts of how that family was actually created. But the President Morty Badge that we 3D printed, it turned out awesome. I am super happy with the results. There are no blobs, there are no globs, there are no layer skips or layer shifts, there's no banding. I did use the optimize seam for optimal printing method instead of a actual seam in a certain position, and it did help out quite a lot. There are some areas where the seam is where it's a little bit rough, and some of the areas I have some of that coast wipe at end and retraction settings still to kind of dial in a little bit more. There's a few little tiny little holes where layer changes and the filament just kind of like ran out, I guess. I'm not exactly sure why it does that. The more settings I tune, it seems like it gets a little bit better, but it also affects other parts of the printing. So there's always that sweet spot in your settings in Simplify3D where you get a perfect print. And I think I'm pretty close. Well, that about wraps it up for day 263 of the 3DP 365 project. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, check out the affiliate links down in the description. If you make a purchase through Matterhackers, Amazon, or GearBest, it kicks a little bit back to the channel. It doesn't cost you a penny, and I really appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.